Hi, my name is Myron, and up until about 2 years ago, I used to wake up every single morning feeling like I was heading nowhere near into the direction that I had hoped 22-year-old Myron would be at. I hated how I constantly compared myself to others. I was full of regret from what felt like I was wasting my life, and I felt like I was completely letting down 12-year-old Myron, who was full of energy and ambitions. In all honesty, I just was a bit of a loser, but thankfully this all changed as soon as I started. Yo, how's things, pal? So, if you're watching this and you feel like you want to be more in control and get more out of your life, it is literally as simple as just trying, you know? Just f***ing try and keep trying, because just trying is what makes us feel like we are actually achieving something. It's the journey of trying that holds the power of our fulfillment. And as long as you finish the day with even just the smallest amount of progression from where you started it, then it's been a bloody good day. So as long as you stay consistent with this, those goals that seem so distant will really just not bother you for much longer, because deep down, at least you know that you are doing something about it. Remember, action beats inaction every single time. And anyway, time is going by whatever happens, so you may as well do something. So let me give you a bit of a backstory. I'm just out here in the woods, just on the hammock, chilling out, because, I don't know, it's just pretty cool here. But yeah, basically a few years ago I was at a point in my life where I just felt like I wanted to be achieving more. I had this burning desire to just like do more and just achieve more, but the problem was I didn't know how to even get started, and honestly this just fueled me with low confidence and having pretty much no belief in myself. And I mean, it pretty much got to the point where I think I just did things like apologize to people for pretty much everything. And initially that might sound like not really the worst trait to have, but it is definitely a trait of somebody with low confidence, because when you're apologizing to people even when you haven't done something wrong, then it's pretty clear that you have like some confidence issues. And yeah, I wanted to make a change. I even remember there were times where I'd be in the supermarket, right, and let's say I wanted an item but somebody was standing in the way of it. Instead of me asking them to just politely get out of the goddamn way, like I would just pick up another item and start like reading the back of it to pretend I'm reading the ingredients, just so that I could wait for them to move out the way so that I could get the real item that I wanted. I mean, it's just f***ed up. Like, what the hell? I mean, that is really just mad to think that I used to do that kind of thing. But I guess I never really thought they were that much of an issue, but clearly they were. These are clear examples of low confidence, and they were a clear indication that I wasn't doing the things that I needed to be doing to stop feeling hopeless and to stop thinking that there was nothing I could do about the direction my life was heading in. So instead of doing something about it and working on improving myself, I did what any other normal person would do, and that was to rely on instant pleasures to escape my true feelings. But obviously, little did I know this was making things worse. I didn't want to be following normal people, because although I'd escape from the misery, it was only a temporary escape, because afterwards this feeling of hopelessness would just return like twice as strong, which of course was turning into becoming a bit of an issue. My life was spiraling towards more procrastination and more regret, and the belief I had about myself, the belief that 12-year-old Myron once had, was slowly dying. And it didn't matter how many times I tried to look confident and boisterous in front of my mates to like cover it up, because internally I felt like an ounce of the man that I was portraying. The times when I was sat in my room and on my own, feeling full of disappointment in myself from doing absolutely nothing productive all day, that was my true feeling, and that was exactly what I needed to change. You see, what I thought my issue was that I had nothing really that special to show for the fact that I was a 22-year-old or a 23-year-old adult, and I felt that if I'd achieved this thing and then achieved this thing and then this thing, I would all of a sudden become this man of high value with purpose and direction. But the problem with this was that I'd set my aspirations and my expectations of myself so goddamn high that they were pretty much impossible for me to reach them. I mean, let's take my old YouTube channels for example, where my goal was to reach hundreds and thousands of subscribers pretty much as soon as possible without even posting like 10 YouTube videos, or that I'd imagine myself boxing in the Olympics before I'd even had my first amateur boxing bout. I mean, these are both ridiculously high expectations to hold for myself before even setting up any means of a foundation. And this is why I would give up so quickly, and this is what would lead to me feeling so hopeless. Now, I later found out that the real reason for why I was actually feeling this way wasn't necessarily because of the fact that I hadn't achieved anything. It was more so the fact that I wasn't even really trying to achieve these things. I mean, yes, you know, I'd try for a couple of days, but then I'd always give up after seeing no results, and I didn't understand the value of consistency, and I didn't understand that meaningful goals often take a lot longer to achieve than we think. And it's funny because if I look back at those days where I tried, they're actually the days where I felt the most fulfilled and like I'd actually achieved something in my life in that period. So to really just start believing in yourself and, you know, just removing that shitty feeling of hopelessness, you just need to take the smallest bit of action, right? And just stay consistent with it. It's pretty much that simple. Now, to grow your mindset even more, click on this video here or click on the link in the description below. Believe you can, and you are more than halfway there. See ya.